Hello and welcome to hello and welcome to another edition of your weekly State of Affairs program here on QTV Gambia, the Gambia's first private TV station. And we are broadcasting live from our studios here on Kairaba Avenue. My name is Aliou Sisse, and this week my guest is Dr. Habibatu Drame, who is the Gambia's Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. Dr. Drame brings to this role a wealth of experience in academia and public administration. By the way, prior to her ministerial appointment in November 2024 by President Barrow, Dr. Drame served in various capacities at the University of the Gambia, including as Director of Student Affairs and Alumni, and as well Head of the Planning and Quality Assurance Unit. Mr. Drame, welcome to the State of Affairs program.
Thank you, Ali.
To start with, I mean, you've been in office for about half a year now. I mean, what was your immediate assessment of the state of the ministry when you assumed office?
Thank you very much, Aliou Sisse. I am so happy and delighted to be on this program. When I came into office barely 6 months ago, it had been an exciting time for me, having had a lot of experience in academia, education basically, and now moving to a sector that deals with the foundational education of our country. That's the basic and secondary education. So it happened to be a very exciting time for me. So when I came in, I took time to go around the country. I did some regional visits, had discussions with regional offices, regional stakeholders, as well as visited 60 schools across the country from regions 1 to regions 6. As you know, we have 8 regional offices across the country. So all those regions have been visited, and the schools to have been consulted to have a feel of teaching and learning in our sector. And to tell you, it was an exciting time because it helped me as a newcomer to have first-hand information regarding our sector. And it was able to help me to come up with my agenda and program that I call the Pathway to Progress. Okay. It is a program that is not here to reinvent the wheel, a program that intends to strengthen what already we have in existence as a result of development and good work of our past honorable ministers of the sector, as well as other stakeholders of the sector. So with time, I'll present to you the program that I have as a minister that will help strengthen the work of this sector towards attaining its mandate.
Like I said, I mean, you were at the University of the Gambia, and when you were given this, I mean, when you were offered this appointment, what was going through your mind at the time, from the university to a minister? I mean, considering the challenges and all that you have been hearing about this particular ministry.
I mean, generally, if you, as a person, are able to thrive in the highest institutions of learning, it is not too difficult and complicated to take a job within the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. Maybe for sure, it is much more challenging at the Basic and Secondary Education Ministry because it's much broader. It's a very wide sector, having more than 40% of the civil service of this country. So that's a herculean and an enormous responsibility to carry out. But also we have a lot of stakeholders that are technocrats, highly experienced educationists within the sector that we are going to depend on to support us in the, moving the sector to where we all envisage it to be.
Like you said, when you were appointed, I mean, you went around the country to have a first-hand information as to what exactly obtained outside just the ministry in Banjul. What is the current enrollment rate at the basic and secondary levels? Okay,
currently at the level of basic and secondary education, just to tell you generally, across the board, within the private and public sector, we have over 800,000 students as a population. And we have over 3,800 schools across the board. To be precise, 3,839 schools within the public and private sector. From 2020 to date, we have 515 new schools, which is a massive improvement and progress as far as the sector is concerned. And at all levels, we have seen the growth in student enrollment, both at ECD up to the senior secondary level. With completion rates, we have seen improvements within the basic and upper basic, but at the level of the senior secondary, we have seen that a lot of students drop before they complete the senior secondary. So that's an area that we as a sector would look at to address some of the reasons behind that. So to say, as a sector, we have come a long way, and to also say that the government of the Gambia, through the ministry, has made tremendous progress, which I would want to mention here. That is to say that we have seen a lot of improvements when it comes to school facility. And based on our data, we have seen 92% of our schools having access to safe drinking water. So that's an improvement within the sector. We have also seen more than 80% of all the schools having adequate separate toilets for boys and girls, which is the best, practice. We have also seen a lot of improvements regarding permanent classrooms, and to announce that we have over 90% of all our classrooms which are permanent in structure. So sometimes we do see, on social media, very, rare cases where people will be found to be having classes under the trees. You understand? So those are peculiar and maybe rare cases, or maybe some people also love to enjoy the air or the environment, and then having the students out there to have their classes. But to say on record that we have over 90% of our schools which have permanent classroom structures with furniture, adequate furniture for student teaching and learning. And we continue to improve the infrastructure and facility. And just to say that with support from partners, in particular MRC Holland, we have been able to extend to 292 schools a total number of 1,923 teacher quarters, which is a massive progress and development within the sector. So basically, we've been moving incrementally. With time, some of these things will start coming out of to the public space, so that the people can follow the progress of the sector and know that yes, indeed, we have challenges, but we have made meaningful progress.
And looking at this figure, like 800,000 is by no means a small figure. I mean, how will you describe the issue of gender parity, particularly in rural areas?
Yes, across the board, in all levels, that is the lower basic, upper basic, and senior secondary, we have over 50% of all our enrollments being women, female, girls. And that is an achievement. That is commendable. That is a great development. The challenges have been the transition into tertiary and higher education. So over the years, we have not been able to see the girls, progress and transit to tertiary and higher education. So maybe as a sector, we will collaborate with the Ministry of Higher Education to conduct research or survey to establish the reasons behind that, so that we can use empirical data to take meaningful decisions towards addressing the challenges that the female child is confronted with, especially when it comes to transitioning from higher education, high school to tertiary and higher education.
And in terms of funding, I mean, do you think there's adequate funding for your ministry?
Okay, by all standards, money is never enough.
Yeah, I know.
By all standards, anywhere in the world, money is never enough. But just to say that educational spending as a share of our GDP so far in 2023 has been 2.7%.
2.7%.
And if you compare this with GPE global standard, that is the Global Partnership for Education Global Standards, which is within the ranges of 4% to 6%, we can say we are below the global standards regarding our spendings or share of our spendings on education with regards to our gross domestic product. When you also look at the total government expenditure towards education, both basic, secondary, and higher education, in global terms, we are between 11.5% to 20.9%. That also compared to global standards, that is recommended by GPE, is between 15 to 20%. So you can see that we are not very far from the standards, but we still can do better.
Can do better.
And more, of course, is needed. And I know government has the political will to support education in our country. So there is light at the end of the tunnel as far as that area is concerned.
In terms of, education quality and performance of students, according to reports, it has indicated that grade 12 students have not been doing well. Could you just tell us, what exactly, or what are some of the specific interventions that your ministry is implementing to improve students' outcomes, especially at this level, which is grade 12?
Yes, so we are trying to work with certain partners within the within higher education, academia, precisely researchers, to be able to help do a research so that we can get empirical data that will suggest the reasons why the senior secondary school results have not been too good over time. So that is the work that we will continue to engage academia in consultation with partner funding to ensure that is done. But by and large, to say that we are aware of quality, and quality is at the heart of our programs. In fact, it is in the center of the Pathway to Progress agenda of the minister that we are sharing with all stakeholders to ensure that teacher quality is enhanced. And that is why we have insisted on having the assessment examinations for teachers, pre-service teachers coming.
Which has been very controversial. I have seen some people.
Indeed, it has been. I met some of the students, and through my engagements with them, I think most of them agree that yes, it is true that we need quality teachers into the
why do you think some of them are against it? Why?
I think some people are desperate. Some people have been looking for work for some time now, and because the sector had placed an embargo on the teacher recruitment, and with these also development that you must undergo an assessment before you can qualify to come to the sector. So it has been too much on some of those young men and women, or boys and girls, or learners who really are interested in also joining the sector to contribute their quota in nation building. So I understand the frustration, but they agree with us that going forward we need the best into the sector to be able to get the best out.
So how does the ministry plan to address this issue? And of course, support these graduates. They've graduated from the Gambia College. They're expecting to be deployed to one of the schools, and with this test now, perhaps some of them might need to wait.
Yes, those who made it. Like we said, with time, over time, the ministry started engaging teachers on need basis. In the beginning, the teaching cadres within the ministry had not been overwhelming. We had these needs. There was the demand to attract teachers into the sector. So it was easy in the past because the vacancies were available. But now things are changing, and we know with advancement and developments happening all over the world, and people acquiring education, so you are having more people acquiring higher education who are ready and prepared to get into the job market. So the demand is very high. So as a sector, we have to sieve the people that we attract into the sector to ensure that at the end of the day, we meet our demand, but get the best who are prepared to serve the sector. We will also continue to improve the ones that we have through our engagement with partners to extend professional development to them, so that they can continually be trained to be with the realities of our learning environment, because the learning environment is changing, so there is every time the need to abreast with the current realities and to also be at par with the rest of the world, especially within the sub-region. So we will continue to work hand in glove with all our stakeholders to ensure that we extend some of these kind of trainings to our teachers, so that they can continue.
Yes, I mean, with the suggestion that over 600, I mean, actually, I mean, were denied, like you said, I mean, employment after they have failed the test. What does this tell about the Gambia College, where they are being trained?
I didn't say over 600 were denied.
No, but that's the reports we are receiving, that almost this particular figure were denied.
No,
is it true?
No, those who couldn't pass the assessment, of course.
Okay.
In fact, they were not sort of denied. The last assessments we conducted, even those who passed, we were not able to recruit them. Okay. Because of the oversubscriptions. Okay. In some of the slots, the lower cadre slots within the sector. So within the lower cadre slots, that is the grades 6, 7s, at the sector level, we have oversubscribed those levels. And these are the levels that these people should come and fill. So until those levels are vacant, it's difficult for us to conduct recruitment. But we are working with the Ministry of Public Service and PMO to find a way to proceed on that deadlock. Hopefully, in the next few weeks, HR has been in close contact with them. In the next few weeks, we are hoping to continue these engagements and see what we can do as a sector to fill some of the gaps we have in the schools, because there are schools really who need to fill sitting gaps because some of their teachers are on studies or some have left.
So isn't that affecting the schools?
Not a great deal. Okay. Yes, not a great deal.
And in terms of teacher promotions, I remember a couple of years ago, teachers protested that some of them, they have been in the field for quite a number of years, but they were never promoted. But I mean, there was a massive promotion by the Ministry of Teachers. How do you think these promotions are going to impact, I mean, the overall quality of education in the country?
Yes, work goes with growth. Okay. People need to grow in whatever they are doing. So, like you said, the ministry recently embarked on promotions, and this was extended to a lot of teachers who have been in the sector for a very long time without enjoying any form of growth through promotions. So this is done, and that also increases the responsibility of the individual who is promoted. So you are given more work, more responsibility, and also enhances your growth, and it serves as a motivation.
Yeah. In terms of curriculum relevance, I mean, how is the ministry, I mean, ensuring that, I mean, the curriculum remains relevant and also, equip students with the necessary skills needed for 21st century? Perhaps, I mean, a curriculum that was existing in the early 90s is no more relevant now in the 21st century. What are you doing to ensure that, the curriculum, matches what the needs and aspirations of this country is today?
Yes, of course. Curriculum relevance is essential in education, especially at the lower level of our education. So as a sector, we have embarked on a review of our curricula. In fact, that process is completed. Okay. We have what we call the competency-based curricula, okay, which is receiving support from the World Bank through the RISE project, the pilot of which will commence very soon. Okay. So the competency-based curricula addresses knowledge, skills and attitude, so making it relevant for the current situation and circumstances of our environment. And we are also working to harness some of the potentials that TVET, and in our case pre-vocational education has in enhancing or preparing the students, especially those who want to take those career paths using their hands as they transit to tertiary and higher education. So these are all ideas and initiatives that will really enhance the student generally before they leave the senior secondary school to start a new life at the higher levels.
Does this also include civic education?
Yes. In fact, civic education is compulsory.
Okay.
It's compulsory.
It's really important. We really need it
in the education sector now, which is important. People need to have knowledge about not only their country, but people need to be good citizenry. And this goes along with having the right attitudes, love for country, and knowledge about things around them that practically in the past have not been extended to them. So this we know is very timely and essential for the sector, and therefore it's compulsory.
And in terms of digital transformation and data management, what are you also doing about that? It's
in fact the pathway to progress is anchored on the 5 principles. Oh, okay. It's anchored on 5 principles. Okay. If you allow me, the first is to enhance access to quality education. Okay. It's a policy of the sector to ensure access to quality, inclusive education for all children in the Gambia from the ages of 3 to 18. So the agenda is aimed at strengthening that aspect of access to education to ensure that we have the right infrastructure. Just to tell you that we have seen a lot of improvement and development in the areas of our infrastructure. To tell you, we have registered for the past 10 years more than 60% progress in our infrastructure, from 1,100 public schools to now over 1,900 public schools. So that is a good progress. We also are continually working with partners to enhance the school feeding program because it serves a very good purpose in the schools. It helps the students, especially at the lower levels, to stay in school. The second pillar on the pathway to progress agenda is to enhance teacher quality. So I was able to highlight that in my previous intervention. Then the system improvement is another area that the pathway to progress agenda has come to address, and that is to harness the image of this sector. We have what we call the Education Management Information System technology platform that has the potential to gather all our data, students, staff, facility, resources, which will allow the sector to have a grips of the entire ministry, to be able to know which schools are there and what the numbers are in real time and what the needs are in terms of resources, what is in place, what is not in place, the number of teachers that are needed, so that even this issue of teacher-student ratio, we will be able to address at the level of the school. At the moment, we have global figures for teacher-to-teacher ratio with the how do you call it, the differences and the disparities that exist between urban and rural area. We know the urban area is more populated, so there are tendencies of the urban area having teachers, more students in their classroom than the rural. But when you do the global calculation of teacher-student ratio, you see that we are not, it's not bad considerable because it's 1 to 32 as I speak to you. But if we're able to get the data from the level of the school, then that will also help us a lot in our decision making and the teacher distributions. So the image is a potential that we will continue to explore to ensure that we deliver the services, because it has a huge potential to help us have a grips of the sector and to deliver the services much more effectively. Then we have the fourth pillar, which is strengthening partnership. No institution exists without partnering with key stakeholders that can help it to move its agenda and its development aspirations. So we will continue to engage our partners, both public and private partners, to ensure that we complement each other to thrive as a sector. Then monitoring evaluation is the fifth pillar, very important.
Very important.
Yes.
I was coming to that. Yes. I will have asked that question actually. Yeah.
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah.
It's also at the center of our work. We want to, going forward, establish KPIs, measurable KPIs to track our progress in access to quality education and outcomes of our learners, as well as to also gauge the performances of the learners at every level of their education. So I think this proactive agenda will allow the sector to respond very quickly to issues that the sector is confronted with, so that the right decisions can be taken at the right time.
And in terms of, I mean, the private schools, I mean, there have been concerns that, I mean, most of them, yes, profit-making schools, but the condition in which some of the students are learning at those schools, the environment is not conducive. I mean, at some point, we understand some private schools were even closed. I mean, how concerned are you, or what is your office doing to ensure that, I mean, the issue of accessibility, affordability, and quality is not compromised, in as much as, you know, it's more of a profit-making stuff? Yes.
So the learning environment need to be conducive, whether public or private. And we have not only closed private schools, even public schools, if it's absolutely necessary. The learning environment cannot be a threat to the students and the staff of the school. If that becomes apparent, then the school is either closed or moved to some safe environment, just like we did for Muslim high school. Although it was not only as a result of safety, we had other concerns and other issues around the Muslim high that led to its movement to a new location, which is much more convenient and conducive. So to say, yes, that is in order. We ensure that all our learning environments are conducive enough for our learners and our educators.
And at some point you also launched, I mean, you were distributing 1.4 million books to schools. How is that program going on?
Yes, and that's a very good development that the sector register. And to say, since I came in, barely 5-6 months, I'm in my 6th month, we have been able to distribute 1.4 million textbooks from the grades 1 to 9 across the country. And we have also been able to distribute one laptop to every public school.
Wow. Oh, really?
in the country. So that's also an exciting development. And to say the grade 1 to 9 textbooks were distributed to public schools. We as a sector also have been able to work hand in glove with the Ministry of Public Service at the moment and with other partners. And it is in our plans, and it has progressed well to digitalize all our human resource data, HR data. So that is a work in progress. We have also been able, as a sector, to continue our endeavor to strengthen foundational learning, and we are piloting. We already started piloting the L1 program in 55 schools. That is the language. Local language in our foundational learning. So that pilot is ongoing, and we are supported by the World Bank through the RISE project. And to tell you, an institution assessment was commissioned by the Honorable Minister C, by the past Honorable Minister C, and that assessment is completed. What that will do is to help guide the sector to reform, to ensure that all our systems work. So it's a very interesting assessment that was conducted by a consultant, and hopefully when we finalize that report, it will bring about transformation in the sector.
And what is the essence of those laptops that have been given to the schools?
Basically to support the school in their data management, and transmitting data to the head office.
Okay. Instead of doing manual now, everything is digital.
Yes, it's digital. Every school has a laptop. And we are working also with partners to extend internet facility to all the schools, at least for the use of the laptops, so that anytime they want to transmit data to the headquarters or to other stakeholders of the sector, this can be done with ease.
And I mean, when you talk about the issue of our education system, the public schools here, I mean, many will say, I mean, how serious are we as a nation in terms of ensuring we improve the issue of quality education in our public schools, when most of the people that should spearhead that crusade have their kids in private schools?
Okay, I mean, you see, in every system you go, you see the public, you see the private, they complement each other. And in fact, it makes a system to be much more productive. And the idea of where to take your child is a matter of choice. So we as a sector, we are interested in engaging with all our stakeholders to ensure that the quality is boosted. And this can be done. Now let's take an example of a nuclear family and an extended family. They both have benefits and they both have their disadvantages. They have their advantages and disadvantages. So the public sector is like a nuclear family. It's a much smaller component or aspect of our education sector with fewer people, fewer everything. And because of that, they tend to organize themselves because they are a much smaller group. But you go to the extended family, you have more people. In fact, it's even more powerful than the nuclear system. So all we need as a sector, that's the public sector, is to harness each other's potentials, expertise and skills, work together. And that's what we as a sector have started doing, bring everyone on board. That's why when I started visiting everybody, including even the parents, the community, to tell everybody that this is the work for all of us, because we have to all, you know, put our hands together to ensure that we progress together. I went to public school myself, and we are here today. All our universities, the University of the Gambia, which is thriving and sending all of us to do our masters and PhD, is a public institution. So it's just a matter, for me, it's just a matter of choice. And for those who work hard, of course, will be successful. But
isn't it contradictory? For example, if you as the Honorable Minister of Basic and Secondary Education will sit here and say, I mean, we have the best, I mean, education in this country, yet, I mean, we see you take your kids, for example, to a private school. Isn't that contradictory?
I mean,
or you said, okay, we have the best university, yet, I mean, your kid or my kid is out there maybe in the United States doing his university education and not in the Gambia.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the system is not the best. Like I say, it's a matter of choice. People choose what they want.
And affordability.
Yes, it's people who can afford university outside, they can choose to send. It's a choice. It doesn't mean if you send your child to UTG, they cannot succeed.
But that
or
could
if
be,
I send my child
but that
to
could
a
be
school,
leading by example. That could be leading by example. If people see you, Honorable Minister, I mean, having your kids attending talenting school, then they will trust that, yeah, what the minister is telling us is true.
Yeah, you have that. You have Honorable Minister's kids, they are in public school. So what I'm saying is, for me...
But not all of them.
It's a matter
Most of them their kids are attending private schools.
Not even, how many honorable ministers do we have in this country?
Well, 24, because I know we have 24 ministries.
How many kids do we have in the private schools?
Well, there are quite many, not just ministers, National Assembly members.
So to say that one, for me, it's not a big deal. That one is only a matter of choice. So wherever one finds themselves, especially in the public service or public sector, we just need to do our best. For me, that is the mantra. Step up and do your work and deliver the mandate, whether public or private. When you work hard, you are successful. It doesn't matter.
Interesting. I mean, the president of the Gambia Teachers Union, Ismail Assisa, has threatened an indefinite and non-negotiable strike if what he said, graduate allowance auto teachers in grant aided, here subvented schools are not paid retroactively from January 2025 by the end of May. What's your reaction to this?
Yes, when I saw it, I wished I had a discussion with Ismaila before he went public, but that's okay. It's his choice to go public at this time. So I have had an initial engagement with the Minister of Public Service, and we are subsequently having an engagement with Ismaila and his team to clarify some of the misconceptions regarding that. When the salary increment happened, we have the non-subvented institutions and then subvented institutions. So the subvented institutions, normally they receive their salaries through cash allocations to the ministry and then to the subvented institutions. And often they receive the salaries late, although we have been working with the Ministry of Finance to expedite that process of them receiving their salaries on time. So that category of teachers, they have, they also have the graduate, they have the graduate allowances. There is what we call the graduate allowance, and then the special skills allowance. So special skill allowance is extended to those that are in non-subvented institutions. And for the subvented institutions, they have the graduate allowances. So that is where a lot of people don't understand. So we have engaged the Minister of Public Service, and we will engage Ismaila and team to clarify some of those things to him and his members.
Yeah, but according to him, I mean, they have engaged government over and over, but yet...
No, on that matter, I want to say no on that matter. I remember our engagement with Ismaila and team was on SIG, if my mind serves me. It's possible I'm a newcomer. It's possible they have had this kind of engagements with other stakeholders in the past. But like I said, we will engage with them to clarify some of the misconceptions and the misunderstanding around that. And hopefully in the next few days, we will do that.
So can the government, or in this case, can you commit to paying the graduate allowance for teachers in these subvented schools?
What I'm saying
is retroactively from January 2025?
There is nothing like that. There is nothing like arrears, as far as I know. Based on what I have been told, there is nothing like arrears or discrepancy in the payment of allowance. So we need to sit with them as a team to make some clarifications, and the Ministry of Public Service will help us do that, since that area is under their purview. So hopefully we will be able to settle this in the next few days.
So why is this school improvement grant not increased since 2013? Despite, I mean, inflation, of course, an increase of school needs. One would suggest at least, you should improve this SIG now. Yes,
there is a lot around the SIG. Although when I came in, I've been looking at it, and the intent is to increase it, but we have a lot. There has been lots of challenges regarding the SIG in the past, and audits have been conducted on the SIG, and we realized that some of the spendings have not been done correctly. So you have to correct those things, and we have also engaged with all school heads in the past few weeks to take them through some training with the attendance of the Ministry of Finance staff, colleagues, and some other stakeholders, because we believe the administration of the SIG in the past has not been done well. So until we get that right, it will take us some few months to look at the SIG generally, and to advance a case for the SIG to be improved. But like I said, those issues of audit need to be settled first.
And also, what are the reasons behind the delay in supplying grade 10 textbooks? According to him, I mean, these are happening.
Yes.
When can the school expect delivery?
Yeah, that is a work in progress at the moment. So what happened is, after several years, when the school textbooks were purchased at the level of the schools, so in the past, schools were given monies for each child, and then books were procured at the level of the school. So With time, I think there were challenges on that also. Different textbooks were found in schools on the same
and
course.
Some of them you don't even understand.
Yes, on the same course. So to address those challenges and issues, I think the ministry at some point with other stakeholders agree that the book publications will be done by the GPPC. Okay, and yes, we started the first consignment, although the first consignment was also too late. I think it's an overwhelming work for the GPPC. That's what I come to realize, but we are working with them to see how we can, going forward, expedite that process. But to tell you, the grade 10, current grade 10 textbooks are already a work in progress. We are working towards the production of the textbooks, and hopefully before the end of the third term, we should start distributing the textbooks to the schools. This is not the way we want it. Definitely, I think as a sector we can do better, and we are committed to doing better going forward. Maybe after this, we will sit with all stakeholders to ensure that the book production is done in a much more expeditious way, maybe with more producers or suppliers, if the GPPC does not have the capacity really as a sector to do the entire production and on time.
So how do you ensure that this SIG is put to good use? I have spoken to some teachers in the past, and they often say, I mean, most of this SIG is more like principal improvement grant, not actually for the school. How do you monitor to ensure this SIG is actually put to good use?
Yes.
Because I know that's your ultimate intention, is to,
yes,
yes,
that's right. That's right. That's why you see in my 5-point agenda, I said monitoring and evaluation is an aspect that we will focus on to ensure that we have our eyes on everything that's happening around us, and to also ensure that the regional office, together with the cluster monitors, do regular checks and monitoring of these activities within the school to ensure that whatever they do it in line with policy and regulations of the sector. So that will be the way going forward, and we are committed to that.
Earlier on, you mentioned, I mean, some of the key achievements in terms of improvement. There are teacher quotas. I mean, you talk about 92% of the schools now have, I mean, access to safe drinking water. I mean, what will you do to the maybe remaining 10%, I mean, that are still struggling to get access to clean drinking water, which is very important?
Yes. So, I mean, you see, development is a step-by-step process, and it happens in stages. If you look at this over time and where we are, it tells you that things are moving, and eventually it is our mandate to ensure that water, especially safe drinking water, is extended to all schools. So in fact, recently, during the school tour or shortly after it, we have partners who extended borehole drilling facility to us, I mean, to support us in drilling boreholes, especially in schools that don't have water or struggle sometimes to access water. So these are all developments and improvements that the sector is seeing happen. But of course, with time, we will ensure that even the remaining few percentage without safe drinking water also has it.
And what will you say are the most critical challenges, I mean, for your ministry currently? I mean, is it funding, infrastructure, teacher quality training, human capital, or governance? The most pressing challenges that you think, need immediate attention.
Yes, for me, I think as a sector, what we will prioritize at the moment is to have a grips of the sector, which we are doing through the harnessment of our image system. Before you can intervene or do anything, you must know what is happening. And for me, that area is critical. I want to know what are the training needs of my teachers. I want to know the gaps that the teachers are confronted with. I want to know areas that really we need to help them to enhance so that they can deliver the services effectively. I want to know the the access to education. I want to know those who are in, and I want to know those who are not in, why they are not in. You know, I want to be able to link my IMIS with the Ministry of Health data to be able to know at every point in time all the school-going age children of the Gambia, those who are in school and those who are not in school. Then we will be able to understand why they are not in school and then try to address that. I also want to know in every school what the infrastructure I have in the school, whether they are in good condition or not, and their teacher demands. And I want to know the attendance of my students and my teachers at every point in time, real time. And the IMIS has the potential to do this. So once we are able to get the IMIS right, then, you know, most of our challenges to some extent will be addressed. But by and large, as a sector, I think we have come a long way and we have done tremendously well. With all these challenges, as you can see, the sector is thriving. And I have mentioned a lot of development so far registered. What as a sector we will begin doing is to put this into the public space so that the people know really that yes, there has been progress and there is progress now. And we will continue to push for more progress to ensure that we deliver the mandate as expected of us.
There is competition. I mean, certainly we know what is happening around the world right now. I mean, there are competing priorities for government. You have the Minister of Education, you have other sectors, security, agriculture, and all those things. And the President will often talk about innovative financing. I mean, in your case as a ministry, I mean, what are you doing, I mean, to ensure you are able to, you know, get that adequate funding beyond just what government is allocating to you, and maybe World Bank? I mean, we know what is happening now. I mean, there's donor fatigue everywhere. I mean, are you considering coming up with something innovative to meet the budget need of your ministry?
As a sector, we are within the government system generally. So I think the government is committed to mobilizing resources domestically. Okay. Yes, and that is the way to go with the realities of the world now and with the geopolitical dynamics. As a country, we need to focus more on how to generate our resources within our territories, and that is something that the Minister of Finance is championing on behalf of all our sectors, and we are with him, supporting him in that endeavor. So as a sector, we are not an income generating institution or sector. As you can see, basic and secondary education is free, so it's a cost to government. But like I said, at the global level, we are mobilizing resources domestically, and you have seen what the government was able to do over the years with regards to tax collection and other things that the sector was able to do, or the system generally was able to do. We see in agriculture, I know the minister will have a lot to say in that regard or that aspect. So there is a lot that is happening in the country, and I am surprised sometimes when some people seem not to see that truly we are moving.
Yes, definitely. I mean, despite some of the challenges here and there, we are definitely moving. I mean, what will be your message to Gambian teachers and all players in the education sector? You are coming in just 6 months in office. I mean, definitely, they have to be patient with you in terms of achieving most of the things that they want. So what will be your message to them?
My message to everyone, every stakeholder of the sector, especially the educators and the learners. First, the educators. As a sector, from the minister down to the last person, we all need to step up. We need to step up as people who have been entrusted with a huge responsibility to deliver the services of education to the children of the Gambia. So that's a huge responsibility. Let us step up and then deliver our various responsibilities. So if it is the minister to do a certain thing, the minister will do. If it is the last person to do a certain thing, let them do it, and let them do it on time, and let them do it well. So once we all do this and also get the complete support from the sector regarding enhancing the capacities of the teachers through regular trainings and developments, and also getting the regular support and funding from the government, which has been coming. We will continue to look for more, and on a timely manner. Then there is huge potential, and of course already there is. For me, I am excited, and I think we came so far, and we have seen the road, and inshallah we will go together and get to the destination point, wherein we will all sit back and realize that yes, truly we have given our best to serve our nation. Especially, what's your goal for the sector for the next 5 years?
Where do you foresee the sector?
For the
next 5 years, yeah.
Yes, for the next 5 years, this pathway to progress agenda that I have outlined, I want to see us progressing well on all of them. Yes, on all of them. And already we are on that path, as you had me mention some of the things we have been able to do in the past 5 months alone. So we are already on the path to progress, and inshallah by the next 5 years, if by Allah's will, and we pray that we all are alive and in good health, inshallah we will see us progressing well.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. I mean, we also wish you the best, and thank you so much for agreeing to come on the program. No doubt when you were appointed, it was hailed by everyone that is being seen as one of the best appointments made by the President to have you as the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education. Like you said, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, the President will come and go, but Gambia remains, and whoever is serving should serve in the interests of the country. And with that, we end this program with a common say that, I mean, when we guard our national assets with transparency and fear God in our deeds, we secure the future of generations yet unborn. Also, who fears God will not steal from the people, and he who loves truth will protect what belongs to all. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for coming on the program. Well, viewers, with that, we bring an end to this week's edition of your weekly State of Affairs program. Do join us next week. Until then, bye-bye from me and the entire production team.